they're treated more as a commodity now. I think they're treated as a tool. Go out and do a survey, and they'll be going out with 1 or 2 years experience. 2 years experience in a lot of our industry, you're considered a senior surveyor. Whilst when I started, maybe 15, 20 years, you'd be considered a senior surveyor. And you're not going out with another surveyor. When I learned to be a surveyor, I was learning from the company directors. I was going out with people that have been doing it since the 80s. I was their assistant, their ladder holder, but you're learning from them, how to do a survey, but where to look, how the building's constructed. If the pipe runs here, there must be another pipe returning somewhere over there. Things like that. And they don't get that now. They're going out with a couple of years experience. They're deemed an experienced surveyor, so they're put out with a trainee surveyor. So that trainee surveyor is learning from somebody who's only been doing it themselves a couple of years, and the senior surveyor isn't learning anymore because they're not going out with somebody who's seen countless more asbestos. And there is so much asbestos that you will only see once in a blue moon, particularly now where we've been removing asbestos since the 80s, the 90s. Things like sprayed coating, you don't see that every day anymore. Surveyors 20, 30 years ago would have seen it routinely, but it's a rare thing now. Okay, as an example, so there'll be a surveyor who's let's say he's mainly worked for a company that does commercial real estate, right? So they do warehouse units, they might do offices, buildings like we're in today. And then they go to work for a company that has quite a lot of petrochemical plants. And suddenly that surveyor who's only ever done commercial buildings is now going around doing complicated plant installations in industrial buildings with 50 years of asbestos legacy that have all been removed to various standards. They, for no lack of trying, will not have the skill set to be able to do that. But there are very few people, and increasingly few people in the industry, who do have that skill set. And that's a real challenge we face now, where actually there are very few people left who can train our surveyors up to that standard. That is a hard one to sort out, because there is no shortcut to teaching a surveyor. It's just years and years and years of finding asbestos and going, oh, I haven't seen that before. That's new, that's interesting. And just building up that memory bank of different types, different uses, different places, some of which make absolutely no sense, and some of which leave you waking up with cold sweats in the middle of the night because they really shouldn't be there, and you're worried you've missed it in all those other buildings that you've surveyed years ago. We're not teaching that, and we're not passing it on.